Let me give you 10 examples of women doing da'wah publicly.
Alright, let's see it. Actually, before I respond, let me make something very clear. There's some sisters, they might wear the niqab where they cover their face completely, or they use just their audio, they don't show themselves at all, and they do their da'wah just online or in their friend circle, they don't leave the house. That is very different than someone standing in front of a crowd of men and women with their face uncovered and giving a public lecture. The rulings that apply in those two scenarios are very different.
Take al-Darda. She taught Hadith and Fiqh in Damascus and Jerusalem, and even the Khalif at the time, Abd al-Malik ibn Marwan, used to attend.
She was around 60 years old at the time. In fact, she was so old, the Khalifa, even though he was a non-mahram, he used to hold her hand and help her walk. And that is because the rules of hijab for old women are very different. And just as you can't use her as proof that it's okay to hold the hands of non-mahram girls, you also can't use her as proof to give public lectures. And she's not a sahabiya, so you can't use her as evidence anyways.
Sayyida Nafisa, a woman of both immense knowledgeable and material wealth, a prominent scholar of Egypt.
The scholars used to visit her house. She didn't give lectures publicly.
Fatima bint al-Khayr. She traveled extensively in pursuit of knowledge and teaching. She traveled all the way from Jerusalem to Medina to Damascus, and among her students were some of the most prominent scholars such as Ibn al-Qayyim.
She died 90 years before Ibn al-Qayyim was even born, and there's no evidence she ever gave a public lecture.
We have Aisha bin Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. Now most people know her father, who was a famous companion, but many people don't know that she herself was a scholar and one of her students was Imam Malik.
She was 66 years older than Imam Malik himself. And she didn't teach in public either.
Ahmed Zaynab bint al-Makki. She taught scholars like al-Mizzi, al-Dhahabi, and Ibn Taymiyyah.
She didn't teach at all. Instead, she used to silently sit and just listen to her students reading. In fact, in the screenshot you showed, it says written sama', which means it was a listening session. And she was 60 years older than Ibn Taymiyyah himself.
Sitti al-Wuzara, one of the most profound scholars of Sahih al-Bukhari, who taught in...
That's not how you pronounce her name. And she didn't teach Sahih al-Bukhari. She would listen to others read it, and she would write them the ijazah certificate.
Karima al-Zubayriyah.
Same as the last one, she would just listen. This is how hadith narration works.
Zaynab Fatima bint Abbas al-Baghdadi.
Her lectures were for women only. And she was also very harsh in her refutations against anyone who said women can uncover themselves or that men and women can free mix. So the fact that you included her in this video is quite strange. She would be completely against it.
Shuhda bint al-Barri. She taught large...
Again, she didn't teach. She would listen to her students read. And she was also one of the oldest women alive in her region.
Zaynab bint al-Kamal.
Students would flock to her from all over the world so that they can read to her, and she would listen to them read and write them the ijazah.
So the question is not whether women should do public da'wah or not.
Well, that's a question you haven't answered at all. The only thing you've proven is that it is permissible to read books to old women.